We're all chasing something. It's the pursuit, finding ourselves in travel and satiating our souls with our craft. My craft is photography. I'm searching for the perfect tool for me. My path has shifted from SLRs to rangefinders, Nikon to Leica. And this is me, finding Leica. My name is Mac McDonald, and I am a photographer based out of the Phoenix metro area. I primarily shoot film, and for the past 3 years, it's been almost exclusively film. I've just begun to dabble in digital again here recently. I didn't always shoot Leica. Actually, I used to be a Leica hater. It's so funny how life forces you onto these paths, which you were so certain just some short time ago you would never go down. You know what, thinking about that, I think we should take it back to the beginning. Not just the beginning of this Leica thing, but photography in general. Let's do that now. In 2012, the photography bug hit me. I was living in Jacksonville on the northeast coast of Florida. Jacksonville's a rather interesting city in that you can be in an urban area, but with a short drive, quickly find yourself toes in the sand on the beach, enjoying a beautiful sunrise over the Atlantic Ocean. With all this natural beauty, I really wanted to take higher quality images than my phone could provide, so I bought a Nikon D3200. With that purchase, I was off to the races. I was taking photos nonstop. Almost every day, I was taking some type of image on my new camera. I was also becoming a sponge for photographic knowledge, reading every book or magazine I could and any YouTube video on the topic. I just wanted to really understand photography. In 2016, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, which proved to be one of the most pivotal moments in my photography history. When I arrived, I was like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna continue to shoot and learn? And like anyone who's run a camera long enough, I became a wedding photographer. I placed an ad in Craigslist, and before I knew it, the weddings were just rolling in. I was shooting 3 to 4 weddings per month. I bought a bevy of Nikon D750s, a bunch of prime lenses, and I was off to the races shooting a ton of weddings. And I'm so thankful for those years that I did shoot weddings, in that not only did they teach me a tremendous amount about photography, but also interacting with clients, over-communicating, running a timeline. What I started noticing when I was shooting weddings was I was really drawn to the emotion, portraits specifically, ideally with just one individual. That's when I could just wring out the most creativity. But weddings aren't just about portraits, right? There are receptions, there's crazy times. It truly is their day, and it should be their day. It's their wedding. But I need my day as well. And like this groom, I ran out of gas with weddings. I was burned out. I had ceded too much control. I was done with weddings. That was it. Game over. I needed to find something else. And so I was left with a choice. What am I gonna do? You know, I have weddings that I was making this money on, but not making me happy. So I decided that I'm just gonna shoot portraits. That's it. That's what I had been pointing towards my entire wedding career, and might as well just jump all in. It gave me the ability to create with others. And that's what I did. I just dug in and really started to perfect the art of portrait photography and shot as much as possible. 2 to 4 times per week, running tons of portrait sessions, and I was absolutely loving it.
And then just by chance, I ran across a Nikon F100, this cool film camera that let me take the lenses off of my Nikon D750 digital camera and put them on a film body and take really amazing film photos. I started falling in love. More and more of my photos were film as opposed to digital, and then I was a film photographer. But the F100 still felt like a work camera. I wanted something that didn't feel like a work camera. I wanted something that fit me. And you know what happened? I bought a ton of cameras, just like all of us do, right? It's that pursuit. We're looking for something that compels us to shoot. It's this journey that we're all on to find something that really sparks that creativity within us. And that's what this series is about, me finding that spark with Leica.
So here I am, a Leica shooter. I did not arrive here through vanity. It was more so utility, right? So about 18 months ago, I started looking for my forever camera. I want to quickly say that forever camera doesn't mean the only camera I'm going to shoot forever. I mean, let's be realistic. It's Mac. I'm gonna buy a lot of other cameras. What I mean is, it's the camera that I own forever that I choose to use frequently to document my life and other important events, and absolutely the work that I'm putting out. It will be my 60% of my shoots camera. Now, there were several criteria that went into deciding on what my forever camera was. First of all, it needed to be durable. I needed something that could withstand my heavy-handedness. I broke quite a few cameras in my day, so I wanted something super solid. Another thing I was looking for was top-tier glass. Glass is so important with photography. I didn't want to have excuses at all for my glass. If I was going to invest in something forever, I need that glass to be just as good as the camera body and to do its job as well. Be durable and get the technical details right so I can handle the creative side of it. Another thing I was looking at was, what would be the resale value potential of this purchase? Would I be at minimum able to get my money back? And then stretch goal, make a few dollars on it, right? You never know what situation you'll face in the future. And it's nice to know that if something crazy happens and I do need money, the cameras that I bought can at least give me that money back so I can move forward with whatever scenario I'm facing that I need cash. And finally, one of the most important things is form and function. I need to strip away as much complexity as possible and expose the key functions to me in a meaningful way that's super intuitive and easy to use. Now, I don't want a lot of controls on my forever camera. It needs to be slim, sleek, and get out of the way. I mean, ultimately, my forever camera is gonna be my kids' forever camera, ideally, or my grandkids. No grandkids yet. Kids, if you're listening, too young for that. Yeah, it needs to last my life and be able to be passed on to my kids or grandkids. So these were the criteria for me. Durable, top tier glass, resale value, form and function. So that led me to Leica. That was the logical conclusion for me. I picked up the M4-p first, and it was totally manual camera, no meter, no battery. So bought the Voigtlander VC2 meter. The link is below. And once I started shooting that, I really fell in love with Leica. Just the body. I didn't have Leica glass at first. Just the body sold me on it. It's so small, fits in my palm of my hand literally. I just loved shooting this camera. I was constantly picking it up. I messed around with the Zeiss Icon ZM first, which I thought was going to be my forever camera. 0.002 of a second shutter speed, aperture priority, insanely bright and clear rangefinder and patch. But the durability wasn't there. I dropped it. It broke. This camera does not work anymore. It's trash. I went with Nikon. I was a Nikon fanboy. What was their best SLR? FM3A. Aperture priority, 0.004 of a second shutter speed without a battery. That's insane. It broke on me just from using it a month in. I was like, what is going on? And Leica's, I've already put about 50 rolls through this, and that was I thought I was totally gonna hate this camera when I bought it. 1,000th of a second shutter speed. I'm bokeh, bro. I need to shoot wide open in the sun. No in-camera meter. I'm gonna sit here and fiddle with controls. I fell in love with it. How did that even happen? So I was like, hey, I want the convenience of an in-camera meter and something that's not likely to get knocked off, right? Because I just throw my cameras in the armrest of my car. Enter the M6. In-camera meter, same form factor as the M4-p. I was absolutely hooked at that point. Then I was like, okay, this is my forever camera. So I started buying Leica lenses. Now, I wanted a range of lenses that I would use most. I didn't want the bookend lenses that I would use occasionally. So, portraits, I usually shoot in very narrow spaces in Airbnbs or small studios. So, from this wall to this wall, maybe 8 to 10 feet. 50 is too close up on the subject, so I shoot with 35 millimeters. I bought the 35 millimeter Summicron f2 spherical lens. This is the version 1 of the Leica Summicron spherical. Amazing lens. I love the character on that. After that, I wanted something I could zoom in a little more and get like that classic portrait look, but also something I can take with me on hikes with a longer focal length to enable me to pick off subjects from distance. Usually I'm so far back from the thing that's interesting. If I shoot it with a 35 or 50, it's going to be comical in the final image, because what looks amazing to me in real life is mountains this big on the screen, and if you crop it, it's only 35 millimeter. You see where I'm going with that, right? Enter the Leica 90 millimeter Elmer f2.8. This thing is absolutely amazing. The images it makes are outstanding. The size is wonderful, and it's lightweight when it's in my bag. Then I was like, okay, I need to round out that set. Sometimes when I'm doing street photography or like new topographic stuff, 35 is just a little too far back because I'll shoot from a curb or a sidewalk, and I don't want to enter a property for various reasons. So this extra 15 millimeters on the 50 millimeter Leica Summicron version 5 lens was perfect. And I just wanted that classical focal length of 50 millimeter. And with these lenses, I was done. This is it. This is my kit. I did pick up one more thing, a Leica 1.4 magnifier. I run this on the M4-p exclusively when I'm running the 90 millimeter or the 50 millimeter. 1.4 magnification on a 0.72 viewfinder puts me right at 1:1 magnification. So the 50 frame lines fill up the entire viewfinder with the 1.4 on. The 90 rangefinder lines go from a small fingernail to a good coverage within the viewfinder. So if I'm shooting models, I can see the eye perfectly, and then at distance I can like really focus on the tip of the mountain that I'm shooting. So I'm set. What's next for this series? Well, this series really is not for you or me. It's for my kids and future grandkids. They can watch dad or granddad running the cameras that they have in their hand. How amazing is that? And also I want to document this experience. It's new and exciting. I've been in photography for 7 years. I'm excited for this new journey. You know, am I like a fanboy now? No. Is Leica the only cameras and lenses I'm going to shoot? No. But when it's something meaningful, I'm going to grab my Leica, absolutely, and these lenses. This series will document that transition. I'll review each piece of kit that I have on these and just take you along on all the different scenarios. This series really is about me finding Leica, my forever camera. I know that some people really dislike Leica because they're so expensive, and I get it. That was my main complaint. I was like, you're going to tell me that you're going to pay thousands of dollars for a film camera body? That melted my brain to think that someone would even do that, right? You're going to tell me you can pay thousands of dollars for a lens? Blew my mind that someone would do that. And then I shot it. You know, that's the big difference. You can talk about how much you hate it and never shoot it, but once you shoot it, you typically shut up, right? And then even if you don't, that's fine. It doesn't have to be your cup of tea. It wasn't mine for a long time. I was a Leica hater. I will admit that. I'm converted. I think it suits me. So I'm very excited for this Finding Leica series. Hopefully you enjoy it as well. We'll go on some portrait shoots, new topographic shoots, landscape, street. We're just going to do it all, guys. Thanks for joining me on this journey. See you next episode.